Kristen Salumi, who is live for us at the United Nations headquarters in New York. Kristen, what more can you tell us about Abbas's scheduled meeting with President Barack Obama?
Well, we know that he is scheduled to meet with President Barack Obama here in New York on Wednesday evening. And also that President Obama is supposed to meet with Prime Minister Netanyahu sometime on Wednesday as well, probably in the morning. And what we're hearing from President Obama's Deputy National Security Advisor is that the president will make the case directly to President Abbas of why the United States believes that the UN is not the proper place for the Palestinians to pursue their statehood, to pursue their recognition as an independent state. Of course, the Palestinians have heard these arguments before from the president's special envoys who were sent to the region weeks ago. Also, Hillary Clinton, the Secretary of State, has also been making the case that the only way for the Palestinians to resolve their issues is through direct negotiations with Israel. But now they will hear it face to face from the President of the United States, who will no doubt make a last-ditch effort to try to get the Palestinians to avert their course and their plan to go to the Security Council to try to win membership here at the UN.
So no change, it seems, in the U.S. position, still heading down the road of a veto, which is what they've been threatening. Now, you've also been talking, Kristen, with senior members of the Palestinian delegation at the United Nations. What have they been telling you?
That's right. I sat down with the foreign minister, Riyad al-Maliki, today, and he said that nothing at this point is going to stop them from their plan to go to the Security Council. He also was very candid about what the Palestinians are experiencing here in New York. All of the behind-the-scenes diplomacy is going on, not only to try to convince them to change course, but also to win other countries over to the United States position, to try to get them to not support the Palestinians here and not isolate the United States in the Security Council and make them have to use their veto. The foreign minister was very candid in his remarks. Listen to what he had to say.
We were amazed, to the reaction of the United States to the self-determination of the Palestinian people, how they have really tried always possible to persuade many other countries to change their mind, not to support the Palestinian bid. They have really used different forms of pressure, threats, and many others, sending letters, sending ambassadors, sending convoys, etc., etc. Amazing, amazing.
You knew this would antagonize the United States. Was that part of the goal?
No. We are not really seeking annoying the U.S. We are not seeking
isolating the U.S.
We are not seeking, God forbid, us isolating we Palestine isolating the U.S. Come on, it doesn't really fit in our mindset. No. We are not really seeking confrontation. We are not seeking isolation. We are not seeking anything. To the contrary, we would like to maintain excellent relations with the U.S.
Are you concerned about retaliation?
I would advise anyone who really advocates for cutting aid on the Palestinians really to study, the significance of such aid and what really it implies, on the Israelis themselves, because at the end of the day, they were cutting our aid. What that really will mean in terms of really stability in our region, in terms of stability within the Palestinian territory, how if this really will spill over, to neighboring countries. We have met executive committee of the OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, and they have said that, that if the U.S. Congress will decide to cut aid on the Palestinian Authority, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, they will look seriously into really covering any financial cut on the Palestinian Authority. So, we still enjoy support from so many countries around the world, countries who are poor and countries who are really wealthy. And, at the end of the day, the Palestinian cause will prevail.
Can you describe efforts to win votes in the Security Council, and do you think you have enough to get 9 in favor of the Palestinian resolution?
No, I'm lobbying very hard, and I know we will get the 9. We will disappoint the Americans. We will get the 9.
a very optimistic foreign minister for the Palestinians, Riyad al-Maliki, saying that he believes that the Palestinians will get the 9 votes they need to force the U.S. to use their veto on their statehood bid here at the United Nations. Now, I asked him where he thought he was going to get those votes. We expect that the Germans and the Colombians, elected members of the Security Council, will vote against their request, or at least abstain, giving their backing to the U.S. position here. So the foreign minister is really focused, he said, and the Palestinian delegation is really focused on 3 countries, Gabon, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and Nigeria, to try to persuade them to back their bid. They know that the Europeans on the council are a big question mark. They have not come out and said exactly which way they will go. So that has been the focus for the Palestinians, to try to get the support they need. But really, we won't know until they put the request into the Security Council on Friday and it comes to a vote.
All right, Kristen Salumi live for us at the United Nations headquarters in New York. Kristen, thank you. Afghanistan's former president has been killed by a suicide bomber in Kabul. Burhanuddin Rabbani was the head of the government peace council tasked with reaching out to the Taliban. The Taliban says that it won his trust in order to kill him. James Bays has more.
Yet another bomb blasts through the concrete of Kabul. This time the target, one of the country's most important political figures. Burhanuddin Rabbani, former president of Afghanistan, and the man who had the job of negotiating an end to the war that's lasted almost a decade.
A Taliban member who was accompanied by head of the Joint Secretariat, Masoom Sanigzai, and Rahmatullah Wahidyar, former Taliban deputy minister of martyrs and handicapped